what do we have here? A Sixleaf, the SL-29 from Sixleaf. It's a rattlesnake design, and the blade steel is CPM20cv. This is a very good knife, and it usually you can get it for well under $100, which is kind of crazy for a titanium frame lock, well-made knife with CPM20cv blade, which is, you know, similar to M390. It's very high-end steel, very good stuff. Great lockup, no problems. I'm giving it the spine whack, no problems. Ergos are pretty good. I will say that, you know, in certain grips, the ergos are really, really good. In other grips, this little bump right there can get annoying. They shouldn't have quite come up so severely with that bump, I don't think. But otherwise, pretty good ergos. It's obviously pretty heavily inspired by the Hinderer. See what I'm saying? The shape of the handle back here, the clip. Now from here forward, not so much, right? But from here back, definitely has a bit of a Hinderer vibe to it. You know, inspired by, at least. Really nice action on this guy. The blade doesn't come down to too fine of an edge, but it's pretty fine. It comes down to a pretty thin edge. Nice tall grind, so it's decently slicey. The access to the lock, I forgot to say, what it has the nice reverse flickable finger or thumb hole here. Now you can thumb open it, but it's not the easiest, especially if you get your fingers on that lock bar. It becomes kind of a bitch. So you got to kind of make sure your fingers are off the lock bar if you want to thumb it open nicely. The reverse flick's great, and the flipper tab works pretty good too. So it's got lots of opening methods, which is nice. The milling on it, really, really nice. These nice deep grooves, definitely different than your average knife. And so nice at coming in at such a low price. Very solid feeling, maybe a hair on the heavy side, really. Now let's see, how's the balance on this guy? Yeah, it's definitely a little handle heavy, a little bit. If I scoop my finger back to the back of this choil, I can hold it here. But it's a tad handle heavy. They could have made it a little more, they could have done a little more milling inside this thing to lighten it up. Pocket clip does work great, even though it's kind of a Hinderer ripoff. No big deal. It does work. How's the sound? Sound of it is pretty nice. Got a pretty nice deployment and closing sound. This little bit that pokes up right here, that doesn't seem like that was well thought out. They could have brought this over to cover that a little bit or something. I don't know if that was really necessary. Yeah, they definitely could have brought that over, brought this part of the handle over a little further to block that thing so you don't see that hump right there. It's just like a little detail that they could have done better in the design. It feels a tiny bit thick in the handle, you know, and if they made it a little bit thinner, they could have gotten a little weight off of it too. So that's a thing. Not a huge problem, really. Rattlesnake design, I think I said that already. I got this one on eBay. They are still selling them, you know, as of the time of this video. So go check one out. I think I paid $75 or less for this guy. Might have been between 70 and 75 bucks. I would buy that all day at that price, you know. If you can get it for even less, 65, 70, somewhere in there. I think they do go for those kind of prices sometimes, and that's just a really nice deal for this knife. It's really, really a nice knife. So, you know, I think this is probably one of Sixleaf's better knives, at least that I've had. Yeah, I would recommend it. You know, as long as that hot spot right there doesn't bother you too much, I think this thing is a good to go, really, really well made knife. You know, some people say, well, Sixleaf especially, and then Tucson in general also, which, you know, they're related companies, they don't do the best on their heat treat of the higher end steels. But I don't know. I've cut with this one some, and it seems like it's holding up pretty well. So I can't say it's super soft, but I don't know. Of course, I haven't had it tested or anything, so I don't know. Sixleaf SL what was it, 29? SL-29 rattlesnake design. This is a follow-up review of it because I think I did an unboxing on it and talked about it a little bit, but this is kind of like my follow-up review after using it for a month or two, and I definitely like it. I think it's still on the table to do some mods, maybe take this little corner down a little bit, something like that. But for now, that's the follow-up review. Decent knife, recommended. Have a nice day.